Good morning, everybody there. Today we are going to start module 3. So module 3 starts with stack in 8051. Just let us go through this presentation. The stack in 8051, which is a separate memory in the RAM area, in the scratch pad RAM. You can just see the memory RAM structure. From 00 to 1F, you have register banks. From 20 to 2F, you have bit addressable memory. From 30H to 7FH, you have something called as scratch pad RAM. So the register which is used to access the stack is called as the stack pointer register. The stack pointer register in 8051 is only 8 bits wide, which means that it can take values from 00 to FF. So when 8051 is powered up, the SP register contains the value 07. In the sense, register bank 1 is by default used as stack. By default, it is used as stack. So that you have to remember. Register bank 1 is used as stack by default. That is why your stack pointer register, which is of 8 bits, always points when 8051 is powered up at 07. You can just see here, register bank 1, in the bracket it is written stack. So 07 to 0F. So this is the RAM allocations, what I have already shown. So you can just see here, register bank 1 is used as the stack. The stack is a section of RAM used by the CPU to store the information temporarily. This information could be a data or an address, anything is fine. The register used to access the stack is called the stack pointer register. The stack pointer in the 8051 is only 8 bit wide, which means that it can take values from 00 to FF. So when as I already told you, when the 8051 is powered up, the SP register contains a value 07. The RAM location 8 is the first location used for the stack by the 8051. So what is the meaning of that? See, stack pointer is pointing here. When you are storing a new byte into the stack, for example, you are pushing a data, stack pointer is incremented by 1 and the data is copied into this location. So the very first byte which is copied into stack is to the location number 8. At the beginning, stack pointer is pointing to 7. When you execute an instruction called as push, stack pointer is incremented by 1 and the data is copied into the location 8. That is the first data which starts from the location 8. The storing of the CPU register in the stack is called as the push operation. So when the push operation happens, what would be done? SP is pointing to the last used location of the stack. So as we push the data into the stack, first SP is incremented by 1. This is different from many microprocessor. In many microprocessor, normally stack pointer is decremented whenever you push. Stack would be pointing to the maximum location, as in when you push the data, it would be decremented. That is one more difference between the major microprocessors and these microcontroller 8051. In case of microcontroller 8051, stack pointer is pointing to 07 when 8051 is powered up. Register bank 1 is used as the stack. So when a push operation is executed, first stack pointer is incremented by 1. Loading the content of the stack back into the CPU register is called as the pop operation. With every pop, the top byte of the stack is copied into the register specified in the instruction and stack pointer is decremented once. Stack pointer is decremented once. Go through this once again. The storing of the CPU register into the stack is called as the push operation. SP is pointing to the last used location of the stack. So as we push the data into the stack, SP is incremented by 1. Loading the content of the stack back into the CPU register is called as the pop operation. With every pop operation, the top byte of the stack is copied into the register specified in the instruction and the stack pointer is decremented once. So this is an example, you can just see. Show the stack and the stack pointer from the following. Assume the default stack area. Default stack area is register bank 1. So that is why 89AB. First 4 registers of register bank is marked here. At the beginning, SP is equal to 07. Or simply you are writing some data into R6, R1 and R4 and you are writing push 6. Push R6 you would not write. Normally you would write the address of register 6. That is 6. Push 6 means 25 will be copied into the location 8 and SP is incremented by 1. When you write push 1, SP is incremented by 1 and SP becomes 9. Top of this, the content of register 1 is copied. That is 12. Once again, you write push 4. SP is incremented by 1. 9 plus 1 becomes A and it is pointing to A. To the location A, the content of R4 is copied. That is F3. So that is how the push operation is executed in the stack. You can just see one more example. Examining the stack, show the content of the register and SP after execution of the instructions. All values are in hex. You are writing pop 3, pop 5, pop 2. Initially, the stack, it is containing these data 6C, 76, F9, 54, etc. Now stack pointer is pointing to 0B. 0B is the last data which has been pushed. Because locations 20 to 2F of the RAM are reserved for bit addressable memory, we cannot change SP to the RAM location by using the instruction move SP, #XX. That is, what he means is from 20 to 20F you cannot use because it is bit addressable memory. Once your register bank 1 is over, if you want to change the stack pointer location to some other area, that is after 2F, that is between 30 to 30 to 7F, that area you can use at the stack. So for that, what you can do, you can use an instruction move SP and you can change the RAM location. You cannot use 20 to 2F because it is reserved for bit addressable memory. Very, very important. So now, in this example, at present, stack pointer is pointing to 0B. So when you write pop 3, what happens? The top of the stack is 54. That 54 is copied into or popped into register R3. So when you write pop 5, F9 is copied into register R5. When you write pop 2, 76 is copied into register R2. So at present, stack pointer is pointing to the location 08. So every pop operation, stack pointer is decremented by 1. First, the data is copied back to the register specified. Later, stack pointer is decremented by 1. So this is how user uses the stack in programming. So now, once again, we shall summarize whatever we have discussed. using our digital pad. So it will be very clear to you. I'll be normally repeating. Later I will get a feedback from you. So what is a stack? Stack is a separate area of memory. Separate area of memory which is used by programmer and processor for temporary storage of data or address. So next point is register bank 1 is the default stack area. Default stack area. To access the stack, stack pointer register is used. The stack pointer register SP is used, which is of 8 bits. So the address range can be 00 to FF. Okay. So next is, so this is the stack pointer register. So this is 07, this is 08, 09, 0A, 0B, 0C, 0D, etc. So now when microcontroller is powered up, when microcontroller is powered up, SP points to 07. SP always points to 07. So that is very important. SP points to 07. Storing the data into stack is called push operation. Storing the data into the register, into the stack is called push operation. Example, push 05, push 7, push 1. What is the meaning? Copy the data copy the data from R5 to stack. So here also R7 to stack. So R1 to stack. So what are the sequence of operations when push operation happens? Sequence of operations. Sequence of operations. So number one, SP is incremented by 1. SP is incremented by 1 automatically. Next, data from the specified register. Specified register is copied to stack location pointed by SP. Stack location pointed by SP. Pointed by SP. So now, so this becomes this was 07. SP is incremented by 1. The data present in 05. For example, R5 contains 30. R7 contains 85. R1 contains some data 25. So here $30 will be copied. Next, 85 will be copied. So this is 30, 85, finally 25 will be copied. So here SB becomes 8, here SB becomes 9, here SB becomes A. SB becomes A. This is how the push operation is executed. So what about the sequence of this was about push operation. This is push operation. So what about the pop operation? What about the pop operation? Retrieving the data from stack, retrieving the data from stack back to register. Retrieving the data from stack back to register is called pop operation. So what are the sequence of operations? What are the sequence of operations? Sequence of operations. Point number one, the data is retrieved from stack location. Data is retrieved from stack location pointed by SP. SP to register indicated in the instruction. Register indicated in the instruction. Second one, SP is decremented by 1. SP is decremented by 1. SP is decremented by 1. So now if you write pop 1, pop 7, pop 5. So note that order of pop operation should be reverse of push operation. Very important. And you know this. Order of pop operation is reverse of push operation, because now at the top the data 25 is there. Then to 85. Then you have to pop 30. Because stack is a last in first out data structure. Very important point. Because stack is a last in first out data structure. So it is called as LIFO. Stack is a last in first out data structure. So you have to write always pop 1, pop 7, pop 5. In the sense, suppose if it is the stack, so now it is containing what data it contains? 30, 85, 25. It is containing 30, 85, 25, and currently stack pointer is pointing here. So SP is equal to 0A. It is pointing. So now it executes pop 1. Suppose when you execute pop 1, so what happens? 25 will be popped out. It is containing now 30. And your stack pointer becomes 0, 9. So stack pointer is pointing here now. So register 1 contains, register 1 will be copied by the data 25. Next, whenever you execute pop 7, whenever you execute pop 7, SP will be, actually first R7 will be copied by 85, then SP will be decremented by 1. Now it is SP is 8. Once again, if you execute pop 5, once again execute pop 5, stack will be empty, R5 will be copied with 30, and now SP is pointing to 07. So now stack is empty. Now stack is empty. So now stack is empty. So this is the sequence of operation, both push and pop. This is what we can summarize after going through that presentation. So now I'll take a feedback. So have you understood? So have you understood the concept? So have you understood the concept? It's a very important concept, stack. And the sequence of operations which has been performed by push and pop operation. So this is very important as far as we are examination is concerned. So this is till here whatever you are saying, how programmer is using the stack. Programmer is using the stack for push and pop operation in his program. Now, how processor uses the stack? The next part is how processor is using the stack. How processor is using the stack. So now let us see. The CPU, that is the processor, also uses the stack to save the address of the instruction just below the call instruction. This is how CPU knows where to resume when it returns from the called subroutine. This is how processor is using the stack. Processor uses the stack to save the address of the instruction just below the call instruction, that is the return address. This is how the CPU knows where to resume when it returns from the called subroutine. When it returns from the called subroutine. So the reason of incrementing SP after push is, so why actually this is how the processor is using the stack. When processor uses the stack, when the call instruction is executed, the return address is automatically pushed into the stack. This is how the processor uses the stack. Why now? We said in case of microprocessor, always stack pointer is decremented, but in case of microcontroller, stack pointer is incremented. What is the reason for incrementing SP after push operation? Make sure that stack is growing towards RAM location 7F. That is from lower to upper address. Ensure that stack will not reach the bottom of the RAM and consequently runs out of stack space. If you decrement, the stack may run out of the memory space. That is why to ensure that the stack will not reach the bottom of the RAM and consequently runs out of the stack space. If the stack pointer were decremented after push, we would be using the RAM location 765 etc., which belongs to R7 to R0 of bank 0, which is the default register bank. That is why we will not decrement the stack. Suppose if you now decremented, what happens? We would be using the bank 0, which is the default register bank. So we cannot use that. It is reserved for the user as register bank, or register bank 0 is used by the user for his program. It cannot be used as the stack. So these are the three reasons why always we increment the stack after the push operation. So when 8051 is powered up, register bank 1 of the stack are using the same memory space. We can reallocate it to another section of the RAM to the stack. Suppose if you want also register bank 1 for your programming purpose, then you can reallocate the stack into some other memory location using the instruction MOVES. We can just see this. Examine the stack, show the contents of the register and SP after execution of the following instructions. All values are X. You see, MOVE #5F. Now we have reallocated the stack. By default, it is register bank 1. Suppose if you do not want to use register bank 1, you can reallocate the stack to different location using the instruction MOVE. So now this is how we can use it. This is how we can use it. 5F we have reallocated. From 60 onwards, it is used as the stack. This is used as the stack. So this is the details of the stack, how it is used. So now all of you can mark your attendance. All of you can mark your attendance now. All of you mark your attendance. So one more point you can have here in our notes. Processor uses the stack Processor uses the stack to store the return address. Processor uses the stack to store the return address in case of call instruction. That is the address just below the call instruction. The address just below the call instruction is automatically pushed into the stack. The address below the call instruction is automatically pushed into the stack. So that is how the CPU knows to resume the program after returning from the subroutine. After returning from the subroutine. So then we have seen why we have to increment the stack pointer. First point is, if you decrement the stack pointer, we may have a threat of running out of the stack space. We should be always within 0, 0 to 7F. So that is the reason why we are always incrementing. Point number 2 is, as we are using register bank 1, if you decrement, you may enter into register bank 0, which is the default memory location, So third point is, we should always keep stack growing from the lower to the upper address towards 7F. That is why we will be always incrementing the stack pointer. So if we are interested to use register bank 1 for your programming, we may relocate the stack using the move instruction. That is the one more point which you have to note. So using the instruction move sp #5f. So in today's afternoon class, we shall see code conversion. Programs. First program is to write a program to convert 8-bit binary to BCD. That is the first program we'll be seeing. Second program is reverse, BCD to binary. Third program is binary to ASCII. Fourth program is ASCII to binary. And also we will be seeing counter programs. Just to your microcontroller, after executing the memory, after executing the program, your program should simply execute to show the counters. It should act as a counter. So these are all some important programs which we are going to see. So have you understood till here? Whatever we have discussed, is it okay? So I will ask you, have you understood? Yesterday I had put the solutions of the unit test into your Google Classroom. So that also you can see and check whether your answers are correct. So in case of the BCD to binary number conversion, What is the actual algorithm? Another 2 minutes I have, just I will wrap up. First, what you have to do is you have to get the higher nibble and the lower nibble of 8-bit number separately using appropriate masking codes. Then multiply the higher nibble by 0a, add it with the lower nibble. That is a very simple algorithm. So you can just see this example. 96 is the number. What you are doing, you are extracting the higher nibble and the lower nibble separately using the masking code 0f and f0. Then what you do, you have to multiply the higher nibble by 10, that is 0a. 0a. Whatever you got in hexadecimal, you add it with the lower nibble. You add it with the lower nibble. You add it with the lower nibble. So very, very simple. So 09 into 0a, you are going to get as 5a. 5a, when you are adding to 06, you got 60. That is how your BCD number is converted into binary. BCD is 96. Its hexadecimal is 60. And you divide it by 16, you are going to get 60. 60. So you have to separate the higher nibble and lower nibble. That is what you have to see. So the details, we will see it in the today's instruction class in the afternoon. Okay, now let us start.